Hello everybody, you can call me Stellaria, and today we're going to be talking about our beloved Glamrock animatronic from FNAF Security Breach Ruined DLC. Now I know you've probably seen tons of what happened to Freddy videos on your recommended page after the Ruined DLC came out. Everyone's saying that the damaged Glamrock Freddy there is the real Glamrock Freddy, but what if I told you I had a different perspective that still makes sense? That really isn't the real Glamrock Freddy. What if it was staged? Now, if you've seen Ruined DLC gameplay, or if you've played it yourself, you may have noticed a text that read prototype on the bottom of the disassembled Glamrock Freddy, or who I will call Freddy Chest Teeth. Thank you, Dan. Now, this text was not originally added until the game's release, as you can see here in the actual gameplay versus the trailer. Now, it is pretty convincing that is the Glamrock Freddy who was thrown off the overhead of Blast because of the location being Blast and the help bots piled around it, but this could just be a change by the so-called Mimic who was impersonating Gregory the entire game. The Mimic could have possessed a prototype Freddy that they had in storage somewhere in the Pizzaplex, and there is proof of spare Freddys in Security Breach from the first encounter of Vanessa and Freddy that we see. Vanessa states that Freddy's system crashed and parts and service had him on reduced power as a safety precaution, and that it was just one more thing to deal with. Leading on to that, it was later revealed when Vanessa removed Freddy's head in the upgrade room that Freddy could potentially be scrapped and his endo would be put on a new shell, making Monty the star of the show. Which in that case, the spare Freddys would come into play. Freddy has also mentioned in Security Breach that maybe he wasn't the first Freddy when he saw the endos. Following into what I was saying on how the prototype text was not read on Freddy's foot in the trailer and added later, Steelwool may have just added this to change the lore or had a different perspective on possible future sequels to the DLC and Security Breach itself. Now you may be wondering where the actual Glamrock Freddy is and not the Freddy Chest Teeth that chased us for a good 5 seconds. The true ending to FNAF Security Breach is Freddy and Gregory running out of the burning Pizzaplex, which would mean Freddy is outside of the Pizzaplex with Gregory, who was revealed to never be in the pizzeria in the first place. And Gregory's friend that was giving directions to Gregory to give to Cassie could be Glamrock Freddy. It would not be surprising if the Mimic did possess Freddy Chest Teeth, seeing that the Mimic is pretty advanced and would have the capability to hack the Nexus system, which is why Freddy's Chest Teeth is gone when you put on the Vanny mask, unlike the other animatronics. But why would the Mimic not want Freddy Chest Teeth to get you with the mask on? Because the Mimic knows you can only see the security nodes with the Fanny mask on, meaning the only way the Mimic could be free is for Cassie to turn off the security nodes, and is why Freddy Chest Teeth is not visible with it on. Now, seeing the other animatronics are visible with the mask on means that the Mimic was not able to hack or take over them, because they aren't prototypes. They aren't something whose hardware and AI was scrapped together a couple hours or days prior. Their AI was already taken over by Vanny and could possibly still be considering their behavior. Seeing that Freddy mentions in Security Breach that they aren't allowed to hurt Patreons, it is most likely that they are still controlled by what Vanny had put into them. And the only reason why Roxy stopped fighting against Cassie is because she remembered her. She knew who she was and she had a special place in her heart for her because none of her friends show up to her birthday. And Gregory was not Cassie. Gregory had no record and was homeless. The animatronics didn't have any memory of him and only going off what Vanny or Vanessa gave them. Therefore, they are the only real animatronics there, including the Mimic, which means that Freddy Chest Teeth was staged there as a possible distraction for the Mimic to have more time to plan their attack, which means that the Freddy Chest Teeth is not our fatherly figured best friend Glamrock Freddy, but more of a deterrent to scare Cassie.